So Brian MacMillan along with our Studio 13 live crew hanging out in Bellingham this morning.
Yeah, Brian, so you've eaten some local food, you've played some cornhole so far. What's next?
Oh, what's next? We're gonna be talking to somebody here at the Port of Bellingham. But take a look at the scene behind me, you guys. It is beautiful out here on the waterfront in Bellingham, and the waterfront, by the way, has been just completely revitalized here over the past 15 to 17 years. And to talk about that here, this is Mike with the Port of Bellingham, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, and let's talk a little bit about the history here, because in 2005, I was probably up here around 2004, 2005. The waterfront was inaccessible. So what happened?
Yeah, well, so Bellingham, like many communities throughout the Puget Sound, it was all about those natural resource industries. It was mining, it was logging, it was fishing. And so the entire downtown waterfront Bellingham was heavy industry, and it was cut off from the public for over 100 years. Those industries started leaving. One of the big employers on our waterfront, Georgia Pacific, shut down starting in 1999, 2001. The port acquired that property and started cleaning it up. There was a lot of historic contaminations. It was one of the largest cleanup projects in the United States.
And because of all the industrial stuff going on down there, you had to clean it up, right, if you want to turn it into something else. So what is there now in place of all that?
Absolutely. It was either going to be heavy industry and put a fence around it, or we were going to clean it up and do something else. The community strongly wanted public access to the water. They wanted a clean environment. They wanted, mixed uses. So in 2009, we did the cleanup, we did the infrastructure, we did the land use planning. In 2019, we opened a bike park. And if you haven't been to this bike park, it is the coolest bike park in the Pacific Northwest. And we didn't know if one person, 5 person, 10 people would show up. People love it. It is so cool.
That's great.
There's these old industrial tanks. It is literally the coolest place. But we needed bathrooms, we needed places to eat. We couldn't just have a bike park in the middle of nowhere. So we put in a container village, and we put in Trackside Beer Garden. It recently got voted by Forbes magazine the raddest beer garden in the Pacific Northwest.
The raddest beer garden. I love it.
Is right under these 6 enormous digester tanks where they used to cook the wood chips into pulp. And so there's no place like it in the world. It is such a cool spot to go to. There's an ice cream place, there's a Riviera Rain or Shine burger. There's just there's places you can rent bikes for the pump track. We're building it better. We're going to put a wine bar with a second floor overlooking the bike park, overlooking the beer garden.
So still big plans. And then what about on the water? There's so much to do on the water too.
Yeah, you got to come to Bellingham. If you go to the Bellingham Cruise Terminal, you can get a whale watching cruise. Everybody loves to go see the orcas. Right from the cruise terminal, you can go see the orcas. They also have a beer cruise. There's a ton of microbrews that have popped up. You can go out, you can do a day trip out to Susha Island. San Juan cruises at the Bellingham Cruise Terminal is really cool. If you just want to come up and walk and get a cup of coffee, you've got to go to the Taylor Avenue dock. It's a quarter-mile over-water walkway. There's a little coffee shop at Boulevard Park, Woods Coffee. You're going to love it.
I love it. I drove by all this yesterday, and I was like, whoa, Bellingham is rad. It's rad now, I got to say.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get to your forecast here before we go. Let's take a look right now at your 7-day. And today, not too bad. We're looking at a little breezy up here on the water, but that's normal up here. For the rest of us, 70 degrees your high, mostly cloudy. There is a chance that we see a shower in the mix as well. We're going to really cool it down for Father's Day weekend, though, back down into the 50s here by Sunday. Sunday will likely be our wettest day coming up over the next 7 days. But, yeah, beautiful up here to start the day in Bellingham. We'll have much more coming up in just a bit. Back to you guys.